to PTM Racing, and tonight we are live in Michigan once more for Season 6 Truck Series opener. Hi again, everyone. I am Crusader with my good friend and colleague, Dirt GBX. Dirt, what an incredible season we've had so far from Season 5, what an incredible series we've had from Season 5, and now we're going into Season 6. But this season's a little bit differently. Can you explain to me why that is? And maybe the viewers at home?
Yeah, so we're having a bit of a dash season. It's going to be consisting of 5 races total. So it's going to be a real short season, only a handful of tracks, and it's really going to reward consistency. When you only have a few races in the schedule, one bad race it can really set you back when you don't have time to make up that points deficit.
All right, so only 4 chances to get into that Homestead or at Kansas or not Kansas, excuse me, at Kentucky's final race of the season. We changed things up a little bit this season from Homestead. We're going to be actually running the season championship at Kentucky this year, so this is definitely going to be a heck of a race, to say the least. But I think honestly with these drivers tonight, man, there's a lot on the line to be had, and I think these guys know it, and they're going to really be pushing their limits and their trucks.
Definitely, and racing at Michigan is a lot like racing at a plate track. It's one of those tracks where you just never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of drafting, a lot of unpredictability, and everybody's going to want to get their foot in the door. They want to get as good of a finish as they can going into this short series. And, they want to have a good start to the season, so they're going to be pushing hard for it, definitely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And there's one thing last season we noticed was basically these guys will push their limits and their trucks to everything they got. And there's nothing really you can't do on this track to really push your truck, but also there's a lot that can go wrong on this track if you're not careful. So you really got to be careful with how you enter and how you exit, because one thing we noticed last season was when you enter in too hard, your exit is a lot more loose and a lot more problems. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these drivers can handle it if everything goes right for them tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's going to be a fun one, man. Like I said, a lot of drafting, and that sometimes that arrow push in the corner, like you said, coming out of 2, it gets real loose. That arrow push becomes arrow loose, and it's going to be a bit of a handful, especially as the final stage where we're going to have the most green flag laps kind of runs on. It's going to get interesting.
Oh, absolutely there. And I think I think everyone has been curious to know that we've been talking about on social media and posting around hashtag at League PTM or PTM Racing. Also on Facebook, follow us at Pedal to the Metal Racing. One thing that's been noticed is there is an abundance of brand new drivers here with us tonight, but also on tomorrow night's race at Cup Series and at Xfinity, we've got brand new drivers waiting in the wings to show off their skills and their credibility and creativity. And I can't wait to show you guys how they run and how they are. And I definitely know you're excited too, Dirt. You've seen them quite a bit out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to be racing in the Cup race, and I'm looking forward to it. This league is always very competitive, very clean, and I know you guys basically handpicked the new recruits, and I have full faith that you guys did a good job with that. So it's going to be interesting, and tonight for sure as well. I mean, this is the Truck Series being the developmental league. This is where people want to make their name. They want to get up into the Cup Series, into the higher tier, and this is how they can do it. And so they're definitely gonna be driving for that.
And I could definitely say from last season, winning the season championship just 1 week ago, that when we had to go, my team and I, when we had to go over to the Xfinity Series, and now we're going to be running half custom, half presets there. Man, oh man, I can't wait to work with those guys and really master my craft. But I will say this: there is an abundance of top level drivers to beat out there than I feel there was last season. Not saying anything that there wasn't anyone good in there. It was just a matter of the talent level from trucks has now just increased by a mile in many ways when you get to Xfinity, and then it just goes even higher once you get to the Cup Series. And it is extremely difficult to master those cars and get that win in just because of that situation going on. So we're definitely going to be in for a treat tonight here, folks. We are currently just kind of sharing around, getting everybody ready to go here. Drivers are getting set. Some new drivers, they're kind of just learning a few things here, so they are kind of getting over the rules and double checking over the specs. making sure their truck, tonight are ready to run, because this is where it counts. There's only 4 chances to get into the season championship, and it starts right here tonight in Michigan.
Yes, sir. And I'm glad you mentioned, going over the rules and stuff. That is one thing about this league that I've always really appreciated is they make it very clear what's going on and what the situation is. If anybody has any questions about the rules or how they do things, it's always made apparent. And I've been part of leagues where they just kind of assume that what's up, and that's never quite as convenient. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely there, man. And I think one thing a lot of people will see tonight is how good and clean these drivers are and how they run on this track, because this track is well known, and I think you've even seen it maybe last time out. These drivers right here in the trucks you're seeing right now, these guys put on a show at this track, and they will continue to put on a show on this track, to say the least, because there's a lot of ways you can hit it. You can hit it from the bottom, you can hit it from the middle, you can hit it from the top, and there's plenty of plays to pass. There's plenty of ways to pass on this track, and this is, in my opinion, a good track showcase for those that know how to hit the 3 wide, the 4 wide, and everything else. So I'm definitely curious to see where this will go and how it will be. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and go over our specs here tonight for Michigan trucks. The fuel run tonight will be 18 laps in total, so they will have to pit in the final stage. We'll get to that in just a minute. Stage 1 is 9 laps in total. Stage 2 is going to be 10 laps, and final 32 laps, with the full race being 50 laps. All right, guys, it's time to go live to Michigan. We've got the call. Here we go, folks.
All right, I'm excited. What about you, Crusader?
Oh man, I'm always excited to see me some racing action here tonight, man. There's always a good time when you're watching these trucks go at it, and it just makes my heart jump more and more every time I see these, man. I just want to be down there. I want to race. I don't want to be in the booth too much, but you know what? I would love being in the booth too, so I can't say anything there. So.
Well, I mean, if anybody needs a fill-in driver, they can come in and say, we need a driver, and you'll be like Ricky Bobby down on the pit stop, down in the pit box, getting in their car for them.
Nah, man, they wouldn't let me anywhere near those truck series anymore after what happened at Homestead. There ain't no way they're going to let me. Here we go, folks. Green flag is high in the air for stage 1 as we are live here at Michigan. Early on, Hubby will take the lead from JR as JR looks to battle for first here already, with Hubby going down low, holding that bottom line. Very well done there. Hubby trying to hold him off, but giving some room there. You can't give too much room, especially off that draft coming out of the exit. That's where you're going to see a lot of the passes being made here, folks.
Absolutely. We got some 3 wide action behind the leaders there for a little while, and they kind of fanned out coming out of turn 4 and seemed to have got it sorted out. But man, that 88 is pushing the 3 down into the corner.
He's giving a push and pushing everything. He's got a little bit of 3 wide out of turn 1 into 2 there with the Law Dog Rich, number 7 there. McCarthy, number 22, and Hoddles the Throttle, and number 10. Man, these guys already, they are already making some moves and trying to get ahead of one another, but already, you can tell the fight is on for this one tonight.
Absolutely. They are side by side for the lead. A little bit of contact with the quarter panel. Now we're about to go 3 wide, nope, down to 2 wide. And they are still in nose to nose as they come through the trial across the line. I think the 88 is going to lead that lap.
Battle for the lead here as the 88 of JR will take the lead here going into turn 1, coming into turn 2. The battle is for second now as Sparkalicious, the number 16. Remember, folks, last season I said it clearly. Keep an eye on him. He had a terrible season last season, and he told me earlier, I'm out for redemption. I'm not out to lose this time around. I'm out to finally get some wins in and prove that I deserve to be here and I deserve to be in the presence of these fantastic drivers.
Absolutely. I mentioned in the last broadcast that I did, Sparkalicious has had some great runs and some absolutely amazing drives that just never seem to finish out. Something would always happen, usually out of his control. So when that happens, that frustration builds and it just makes you want to push that car a little bit more. And sometimes that's what gets you the win.
Absolutely, man. One thing I noticed as well, as we got a battle here for the lead already, look back up here front here, folks. JR has now been passed for the lead. They're getting a little loose out of turn 2 in the exit. It's going to be Hubby that takes control of that Sparkalicious side by side, trying to maintain position and take over second. Looks like he's going to try to get a run here coming down low. The Lone Star girl herself, McCarthy, and the number 22, second place last season in the season championship. She looks to finally get back in this as she has now gone to third place over JR and that number 88. So already early on, man, there's some moves being made from the veterans as you see some of the new drivers in the back of the pack still battling it out here.
For sure. Now, while that was going on, I believe the 4-car of Smoke got into the wall there a little bit. He recovered pretty well. I think he might be out of the draft at this point, but not too much damage. He can get that fixed up at the end of the stage. We're now 2 by 2 for the lead, and they're going to fan out, possibly go 3 wide here.
The lead now has taken over.
Yep. To take the lead.
Side by side.
She clears the 88.
All right, look at that here. The Lone Star McCarthy, she takes over the lead, but here comes the number 88 of JR, getting a little bit of a push from Hubby, coming down the front straight into 1. 88 will now take over the lead yet again. So already, it hasn't even been 5 laps here, folks, and these guys have made already, I've counted about 6 or 7 lead changes just on the first lap alone. If that's not enough for you to know how fast this track and how crazy this track can be, I don't know what is. Look at this here.
Absolutely. We got what I call the revolving door effect going on. It seems like anybody who gets the lead is kind of just made the target for everybody behind, and they just get right back by him. And now we're going 2 wide for second place. McCarthy making another charge back up to the front here, getting a lot of a run coming out of the corner with that draft.
The 2 females of our sport, Pottles, the Throttle, and 1 McCarthy, right now they are just battling it for third place here. Now it looks like a little bit of a run for Pottles here. She's going to battle Sparkalicious for third place. The Lone Star McCarthy, man, that Texas girl will give you everything and anything she has to win these races. And I think that one thing that she proved last season when she finally got that first career win at Eldora was that she is a player and a half here.
Absolutely. I'm noticing a few of the cars are starting to use the apron a little bit in 3 and 4 there. That's kind of a risky move. I mean, you can't make the car stick, but you got to be real careful on that wheel when you do that.
Why is that, Durham? You might explain to the viewers at home why that is. I know as a driver how it feels and what it can do, but for the viewers at home, how would you explain to them about that apron?
Well, there's a few things that make the apron looser than the actual racing surface and make it a little bit more slippery. First of all, there's just no rubber laid down on the track down there. You know, these guys are racing up on the groove and they're laying down rubber, and over time that just gives the track more grip. Well, there's none of that down low. Also, as they, run in the track, they get accustomed to a certain temperature, and the apron is a completely different track temperature versus the racing surface because there's no cars putting down heat. So you get down there and it's kind of like you're in the marbles.
Kind of in the marbles, and everybody knows once you're in the marbles and you're slipping and sliding, there ain't nowhere else to go but down or up. And in this case, right now, the battle for the final lap of stage 1 coming to a close here comes to Hubby and JR. Still one another. Still no one's giving an inch here. But Pottles, the Throttle, and 1 McCarthy, she's right behind him as well, still giving it everything they got. Looks like Hubby's going to try to pull a little bit of a draft move here, coming down turn 3 into 4. JR cuts him off, not letting him get there. So Hubby looks like he's not going to get that spot out of stage 1 here. So JR will be the first stage winner of season 6.
Shout out to McCarthy for finishing P3 in that stage. She came back from 5th place there.
Started 5th and got it up to 3rd. Now she just needs to get a win in here tonight. But folks, we did tell you earlier that there are some brand new drivers with us. We mentioned Law Dog Rich. He's been with us before, the number 7 there. You see a good look at him there. But he is now returning after injury. Unfortunately, not able to run with us for a little bit of time here. So it's good to see him back on the track and finally back with us here in PTM. You also got a brand new set of drivers here. Look at this, number 33 of T Jangles J3. One of our brand new rookies to the season, but he is definitely a driver that when we ran with him a couple of weeks ago, he has been proving to me that he can race good and race hard. He just needs to get a feel for the truck, get a feel for the tracks, and I feel like he can be something down the road. Alright, my dad, the number 54, he's been around. The number 20 of Sludge, a brand new driver as well with us. I'll tell you, practice with him the other night, man. He was fast on this track, so I feel like he's got something for these guys if he gets that chance. The number...
Absolutely, we're getting ready to go green once more.
Green once more at Hoffy, the 52. Babowski, number 99, brand new driver as well with us. Good to see him out here. Looks like he actually got the pole, so he did not pit in this case. Green flag high in the air one more time, and then you saw THR smoke there. Unfortunately, looks like he's already blown an engine, so tough break for him there. As the battle now commences on, looks like, I forgot his name already, Babuski?
Yep. So it looks like Babuski has actually dropped out of the racing line. I believe his choice not to pit wasn't really a choice. I think he might have just ran out of time while he was putting it in his adjustments, so he opted to dive out of the racing line, which is definitely the sportsman-like thing to do in that case, because sometimes if you don't pit, you might run out of fuel on the restart, you might, cause a bottleneck. So what he did was definitely the smart move, and it shows that, he's got a lot of respect for these guys out here.
That's one thing in this league that I think a lot of people don't necessarily know or too much about or really understand, is how much respect overall these drivers have for one another, and how much dignity is on the line when you race each and every time out. Oh, look at this here, folks. Almost a 4-wide salute there as they were coming out of turn 1 and 2. It was Pauls, the throttle, Munn McCarthy, and it looked like Hubby there had quite the run there with Sludge as well in the number 20. They were side by side, coming out of 1 into 2. Managed to clear it out. Well done there, as the push now for Pottles seems to grow stronger and stronger here as she's trying to make something work coming out of turn 3 into 4.
And man, here comes that 20 car of Sludge. You talked about him a little earlier. He is making up time like crazy, reeling in that 88, looking to take that top spot.
Oh, we got some problems back there. Are you my dad? Number 54 got really loose there, and we got big problems back there. T. Jangles, number 33, involved in that wreck. One of the new drivers, unfortunately, getting involved in that accident. But the race will continue on. The caution was not called there. I'm not sure what happened on my screen here, folks, but man, oh man, Are You My Dad just got loose, and T. Jangles just went for a ride.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation. Also, I think we missed this, but I believe the 4 has blown an engine. He is sitting in pit road.
I did mention that earlier. I said he was one of our new drivers, but unfortunately it looked like he blew the engine earlier. So
okay, I missed it. You didn't. My bad.
Okay.
I apologize. I apologize, but man, for all the chaos that broke out, we still got a pretty tight pack up front. I mean, they are still all there.
Indeed. We're getting a good look up front on the Sludge here. I mentioned earlier, this kid is definitely a fast cat for sure on this track, and he really has been trying to figure out how to maintain his position and maintain line presence, and I think right now he's doing a great job of that, battling it out with the number 88 of JR. But my question is, how long will it take for him to hold on to that and not lose it? Because remember, these tires will burn up and they will get loose, and we've only really seen him on a short run. I'm curious to see if he can run that good long run. As here comes Piles, the throttle on the number 10, getting a little bit of a draft boost there, gave Sludge that little bump. She is starting to push it up there and get right back with the leaders.
Absolutely making that charge, and I think if the 20 can get one good push down the backstretch, that's going to be all he needs to take the lead, because I tell you, he's coming close, trying to get to the quarter panel of the 18, coming inches from it, but just not quite being able to get close enough to side draft. If he can do that, I think he has a good chance. Now, the way side drafting works is you put your nose up on the rear side of your opponent's car, and it redirects more air towards their spoiler, which slows them down and causes more drag. So if he could just get up alongside him, that's his best bet.
Man, what did I tell you about talking about all the boring stuff and making it sound exciting and thrilling for these fans out here? I told you not to outdo me here. Just kidding.
Hey,
anyway.
we tried to get Larry Mack up in the booth. He told us no, so now you got me.
Well, I guess I'm stuck with you either way, so what do I have to do about it? Anyway, back to the race here. So back and forth here. Actually, the number 20 of Sludge actually getting a little bit of a run there off of JR, takes the lead from him. But here comes Pauls the throttle on the number 10. She is now fighting it out with JR for the battle for second. And now they're going to start the train here. Here comes the truck train, They're going to try and get that to work and try to catch up to Sludge here as now Pauls the throttle now goes side by side with Sludge coming out of turn 1 into 2.
3 wide.
3 wide. Here we go. Oh, Sludge got loose. The 7 of Rich holds on. And that 4 wide continues on. They were clear there out of turn 2. But Rich actually with the advantage. He takes the lead.
Raw dog from 5th to 1st in a single straightaway. Woo! What a move.
2 laps remain in this one right here, folks, and man, oh man, you got your log dog Rich right now. You got to be swimming in that. Whoa! Well, the Lone Star McCarthy, she got really loose there coming out of the turn 4 there, got right into the grass, started her own lawn care service. Manages to hold on, great save from her there as we got a battle up front yet again. Looks like we're going to go 3 wide yet again. Here we go. We told you earlier, watch that 3 wide. Slow.
Hard into the wall. McCarthy and the number 20, so we got Sludge and McCarthy. A lot of damage.
A lot of damage indeed. I saw a pretty good amount there. Both drivers unfortunately took a hit, and the caution not coming out on that one, it looks like. The battle is still up for the lead here as there is only 1 lap to go here. Final lap coming up for stage 2 as the battle continues. JR trying to make the move on the down low. Going down low of Law Dog Rich, number 7. Trying to get a little bit of a push from Hubby in the number 3. Bottles the throttle, the number 10. She is right there with these drivers. She is trying to push as much as she can to get back in this. JR now takes the lead, but look out. Here comes Hubby. Oh my goodness, folks. Almost a 3 watts. Oh, and Law Dog Rich get loose off of Hubby right into one another. Sparkalicious and Bottles the throttle involved in that one. Oh my goodness, folks.
The 54 also caught up as well as the 52. So that's going to be Hoffy and Are You My Dad?
Hey, look at this here, folks. Another lead change here coming down the final stretch here. Hubby actually takes the lead off that wreck there. Did not call a caution whatsoever. So Hubby and the 3 will take the win of stage 2. JR following second. Now both drivers are even here. So this is going to be interesting on that final stage and see who finishes where. Because now both drivers have been evened out on this one. But my goodness, folks.
Absolutely. That was a well-earned stage win for Hubby. I mean, it was just a battle the whole time. I mean, he definitely didn't just take that one with a stroll to the park, man. He took it by force.
Took it by force and a great run there. I'm not sure what happened to Law Dog Rich there. It looked like it was just tight and then got loose out of the exit of turn 2, and unfortunately he clipped Hubby, and those drivers just went spinning there. Man, oh man, that must have been a tough break for him. But the good news is that there's only 1 stage left. But 32 laps of some heavy artillery and heavy metal to be pushed on this track, as these drivers will have to go one whole stage with a pit in here, because there's no way that fuel run is actually going to last them long enough. So I am curious to see what their strategy is. Do you try to wait out till the fuel run ends, or do you try to go and hit it and then try to get halfway into the stage and then pit?
Well, I'll tell you what I'd do right now. I'd pull those belts tight one more time because we're going green. But as for pit strategy, I don't know. I think I would probably wait it out as long as I could, because if you come in about halfway through the stage just to try and short stop them, and then you get a yellow flag, that's going to trap you almost a lap down.
It really is too. Like that's one of the biggest problems that you got to be careful with pits, is just if you pit too soon, you get pushed back farther and farther, and you can't make up the time. You get too late, and then you're really in trouble. Because already the drivers that were saving now can come up and take it away from you, and then you're pushed back even further. So pitting on this track, especially to me, I think one thing last season that a lot of drivers did not really talk about was just how close it came to being on time and on touch to really make it. Because McCarthy, I talked with her about it, and she flat out told me, yeah, I pitted way too late, and I ended up losing my draft, and I ended up losing the race because of it. But if I had a little more time, I would have had a chance to fight for it, you know. That's one of those things that you have to be careful, and you have to be aware of your surroundings and who you're running against, because that's going to play into the big factor in later.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing about pit strategy is I wonder if anybody's going to be bold enough to try and take 2. Because I think, theoretically, the left sides might be able to survive the end of the stage.
It is very possible. I've tried it before on this track, or before we actually did the big race itself, and I can tell you that it did work to an extent, but I did not see everlasting success. Oh, we got a little bit of a bump 52. There. Yeah, the 52. Hoffy got a little bit of a bump there from Piles of Throttle on the number 10. T. Jangles actually pulled a slider there, trying to go down low. 3 wide coming out of turn 2 there. All drivers holding out and maintaining position there. Good running on everyone's end there, but unfortunately Hoffy got pushed back a little bit, so he's going to have some time to make up. But thankfully, because of that draft, it doesn't take much and doesn't take too long to get there.
Right, and don't look now, but here comes McCarthy back up into P3. Trying to get around that 88.
McCarthy has Sludge right behind her. That number 20 car really trying to push everything he can up there with McCarthy and the leaders. Meanwhile, JR and Hubby still battling out. Here comes Sludge and the number 20 trying to make the move off one Lone Star McCarthy. She goes down low. He takes the high line. The low line looks to be the better in this case. Continue the draft and keep on going forward here. This will be one for the ages if they can make it work here down the final laps here.
Absolutely. We got some tandem drafting going on. McCarthy making up all the time right there. We are bumper to bumper coming through 3 and 4. This is getting crazy.
Currently on lap 29 of 52, coming down to the front stretch here as soon as they hit that as soon as they hit the finish line here. And right now, everyone seems to be kind of just lying low for the moment and going only one car at a time. Well, a little bit of problems there for Paul's loose out of the entry, and she has wrecked coming out of turn 1 and still unfortunately catching. Looks like Boboski, the 99 in the back there. Both drivers are spinning out. I'm not sure what in the world happened there. That was a huge wreck though.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't catch what kicked that off, but man, that definitely took some strong drivers out of it. The 10 car with a lot of damage. I think a caution has been called.
The manual caution has been called out, folks. The flag man yet again. I told that guy, for the love of God, to get those darn binoculars out when you see these things, and he didn't listen to me again. I'm telling you, I hate it when they don't listen to me. You gotta catch these cautions there, flag man. Good Lord. So for those, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is interesting because I think this caution happened early enough in the stage that if they pit right now, I'm not sure they'd be able to make it to the end.
That is interesting because, yeah, right now, if you do the lap count, they will not have enough unless they try to save their truck and save the fuel on it. I don't think that's going to work, though, in this case. So, yeah, this is now going to be an interesting thing to see if they will make the adjustment or if they will stay out on the track. If I was them, honestly, I would take 2 tires and maybe a hit of gas just for that first part, and then when the time comes, get back down to the pits, because I feel as though there may be possibly another caution if everything goes if something goes wrong again. But to me, some of these guys are just a little bit loose and a little bit on exit and entry, so the track may have more moisture than we thought.
Right. Now, if this does stay green, it is going to be a tall order to try and save and make it a one stop, but I've seen crazier things happen in this league in terms of fuel mileage, and if there is ever a track you can save at, it's Michigan, because there's a lot of drafting going on. Sometimes you can drag the brake a little bit and, just conserve fuel best you can.
Looks like everybody has chosen to pit here, so we will get back underway here and get back on the green in just a moment. But first, a word from our sponsors. If you're looking for the best dirt tracking game on the market to play on the go, look no further than Dirt Tracking and Dirt Tracking 2 for your mobile Android and iOS devices. Dirt Tracking is a great sponsor of Season 6 and Pedal to the Metal Racing. Thank you so much from Dirt Tracking, from all of us here at PTM. Of course, out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Thank you to Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep for sponsoring us this season. If you're looking for a new hot rod out of the Pennsylvania area, look no further than out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. It's Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep. I've heard, now I'm an Iowa boy, and I've heard some good things about those Jeeps when you take them out mutton, and I've been kind of wanting to take one of those newer Jeeps out there and start to, I'd say probably break her in just a little bit. I think a good a Jeep, honestly, for me right about now sounds nice. I definitely need a new car. So, what about you, Dirt?
I mean, yeah, I agree. There's few things that are quite as satisfying as tearing through a mud pit. There's few vehicles as good at that as a Jeep. So
why not go over to Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania, find yourself a good Jeep, and while you're at it, look at some of those Chrysler cars and trucks. Man, I'd say some of them are pretty good.
Oh, definitely. I mean, their build quality over the years has just gotten better and better every single year.
Absolutely. Also, thank you to Moldy for joining us tonight. Thanks again for being with us all season, man. Mid-Cities, thank you for tuning in. Looks like we got a McCarthy fan in the house. Looks like they're going to go for McCarthy to win. Man, she's up in 4th right now, so she's got herself a battle, but it's still early, so we'll see how that goes. It looks like we're going to get the green flag high in the air one more time. Tighten up the belts. Loosen up those laces. It's green flag racing in PTM Racing.
And the 88's going to get a great start on the bottom. Going to get a whole car length on the outside lane. But don't look now, because here comes the car that's been giving him trouble the whole race. And it's going to be a drag race down the backstretch for second, door to door.
The battle is currently up front as Sludge, the number 20, trying to get back into the draft here. Not quite able to get off that. One McCarthy now battling as well, side by side with Sludge here in the number 20. Looks like they're going to try to hold out as JR will maintain lead position. So early on, McCarthy and Sludge still two heavy hitters trying to, or I would say one heavy hitter and a new driver to our series, but don't count them out. We've seen a race before. Sludge definitely is going to be a driver to keep your eye on, as well as the other drivers like T. Jangles and Babuski and Law Dog Rich for sure. If you saw what Law Dog Rich did earlier, that was something special to be had.
It was a crazy good move, and here we go, almost 3 wide for second place again. They're going to sort it out, single file. Now door to door is Hoffy and Sludge for that 4th position, and in the fray, McCarthy's made her way up to second. So I think she's going to be a little bit hungry for that win.
I think if one thing that McCarthy is well known for is that she is a feisty Texan, man. She's one of those girls like you don't mess. I've always heard the old saying, "You don't mess with Texas, man." I learned a long time ago. I don't mess with I don't mess with anybody from Texas, man. I'm some American blood-born women and men over there, man. They tough sons of guns. So I ain't messing with any of them. And right now, McCarthy is showing the boys right now why she is not to be messed with. As you see, also Paul's Throttle back there, kind of battling her way up there. She was in good contention to get the lead earlier and have a fight with the boys here, but right now, struggling a little bit, may just be a little bit loose right now. We'll see if maybe everything tightens up over time as the battle now rages on in first place, side by side, coming down the front straightaway here. McCarthy has a little bit of a run there. JR on the number 88 trying to get back down there, trying to cut off Hubby, and is successful, but looks like Hubby has a little bit more of a run than he does, coming out of turn 1, going into 2, and here comes Sparkalicious and the number 16. He is now trying to fight his way back into this. He wants that win, and he wants a top 4 finish. Their points matter each race. Every time it counts, and everything is crucial to winning this season.
Absolutely. That 16 car of Sparkalicious made the top line work in 1 and 2. That's not something you see happen too often in Michigan. But he is there now, and he is within the draft of the leaders. And I think if he just bides his time and waits for the right opportunity, he can slingshot his way up there.
Indeed, here, sir. And right now, look at this. The 3 wide salute almost coming out there as Hubby got a little bit loose coming off of the front straightaway there with McCarthy and JR. But man, oh man, Hubby right now getting pushed back there. Unfortunately, because he got loose, the drivers right now battling up ahead, trying to get ahead right now. And number 20 of Sludge and 52 of Hoffy now do battle with the number 3 of Hubby. As the battle rages on here, every lap is starting to count here and really matter. These guys just going back and forth at one another, and a little bit of rubbing and bumping in there is to go with it. Nothing unusual for Michigan, I would say.
Absolutely not. I do believe the 99 of Babuski actually got into the wall there at some point. I seen him coming back up from the inside retaining wall with a fair amount of damage. Not sure if he had any help or if he just got loose. Sometimes that happens, man. You come out of turn 2, that rear end gets away from you, and you're just kind of along for the ride at that point. But here comes McCarthy for the lead on the bottom lane. That is the preferred lane. Not quite going to clear the 88. Yes, she clears him. And now she is comfortably in the lead with Sparkalicious now in second. He made his way out past the 88 as well and all of that.
Dumber 88 got loose off turn 2 there on the exit, came right into the wall. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Dirt, but I was getting a little bit excited there because 88 actually managed to save it and actually started a little bit of a battle there with the 52 of Hoffy and Hubby. Almost a 3 wide salute yet again. Those two just going back at it. Right now, Sparkalicious running in second place. This has been the best racing he has done all year round. Last season, he had a horrible year to say the least and just struggled. He said this time, I'm more dedicated to everything on the track. I am dedicated to the trucks, and I'm going to make sure this season I do not let what happened last season happen again. I'm out to win. I'm out to get that. I'm out to finally prove why I can race with these guys.
Absolutely. So that was 2 or 3 laps in a row. We saw somebody get loose coming out of turn 2. And this is one of the longer green flag runs we've had, so I think we're finally starting to see the tires affect these trucks in a heavy manner, so it's going to be a handful for these drivers until they can come in for their final pit stop, assuming they don't save enough to make it from here on out. But man, even if they could save enough, do you think it'd be worth it with how just kind of wild these cars get on them old tires?
To be honest with you, I would feel as though that I would be more cautious about how I'm wearing down my tires right now anyway in the turns, because my thing is with the gas on this track is that I always try to find a half balance, because the thing is, if you burn your tires up too much, you lose a lot of momentum coming off exit, and exit to me is the biggest part of making passes here, because entry is a good starting point, but exit to me, like if you have that run, you have that momentum, you can swing left or right of somebody and just take it from them in the straightaway, and that's what maintains a good position. While the gas mileage on this track, in my opinion, is feasible to work with. However, those tires to me are more crucial than the gas mileage itself, as it looks like they're going to get on lap cars here. T Jangles, number 33, is going to be lapped here, it looks like, coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I should note, T Jangles was exiting pit road. That's why he is now in front of the lead pack. He came down. I think it was a scheduled pit stop. I don't think there was anything unplanned about that, but he's going to go to the high line, let these leaders get around, it looks like. So good on him when they get to him. But you know, he's had some bad luck this race, but he's shown that he can make some moves, and you know, hopefully next week he has a little bit better luck. But here comes the 22.
I feel as though that he's going to be, as well as Babuski and THR Smoke, when they get a chance, they will definitely be something to be had here. And also Law Dog Rich here. You see a little 3 wide yet again. Sludge, JR, and Law Dog Rich getting in there. Both managed to come out clean, with Sludge and JR battling for the 4th spot, it looks like, out of that, or 5th spot, excuse me. So the top 5 in duel right now, as a little bit of a run here. It looks like lap traffic is going to start to be a bit of a problem here. As you can see, T Jangles trying to get out of the way for these guys. Battle right now is for second, as Hubby in the 30 and Hoppy in the 52 just going at one another. T Jangles just trying to hold out and stay out of their way, but right now I think he may be a little loose in that truck. This track is definitely not one you can just let loose on, though, because you got to be careful of those turns.
You definitely have to finesse the exit of the turns more than it looks like. I know these guys are making it look easy, but I can guarantee you these cars are an absolute handful at this point. When that lap traffic came along, McCarthy, I mean, almost perfectly to the textbook, used that lap car as a pick and kind of extended her lead a little bit there. So that's going to give her a little bit of breathing room. I don't think many of these drivers have had any breathing room the whole race because they've been so close. But yeah, she's making some phenomenal moves. She's got about a 3-car length lead at this point. Although as the draft comes into effect, that is going to dwindle over time. Can we get a lap count?
Lap count currently right now, 10 laps to go of the race. So right now they're definitely going to have to start thinking about pitting again, because right now I can tell you they're probably around their last 5 to 6, if not maybe 8 laps of fuel. So right now I would say their best time to pit is either within the next 3 or 4 laps, in my opinion, because that gives you enough time to get the run going off of the draft. Looks like we got another driver in the pits as well. Looks like Are You My Dad, number 54, has blown the motor. I'm going to double check real quick. Yes, he has blown the motor, it looks like, unless he is still moving over there. He might be in the pits.
Nope, he is. He's coming out of the pits. His engine is fine. False alarm. Just a little bit overheating. Saw some hot water coming out of the hood, and he's back out.
As the great Frankenstein once said, "It's alive! He's alive!"
And he has a chance to race once more. Now, the 52 is up into 3rd now, so Hoffy coming up into that podium position. I didn't quite expect that one. He's had some tough luck this race, getting involved in a lot of traffic and kind of caught up a little bit, but hey, he's here when it counts, so interesting.
He had some tough luck all season. Look at this here, folks. They're actually, the top 3 right now are going into the pits. Oh, Hoffy, what you doing, dude?
Hoffy has gotten into the 10, it appears. I'm not sure if that was just a bad downshift or if something else happened there. Maybe he had some help. But it would appear there was no caution called.
No caution called on that one. I'm not sure how he got loose there, but he just came in and all of a sudden that right rear and just spun him around. Ended up costing him big time there. But it looks like he's managed to get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he managed to get it gathered up. That tells me, the way that it looks like it went around, that tells me he might have downshifted a little bit too quick. Sometimes that'll get the car unsettled and spin it around. But I'll tell you, McCarthy's going to come out with a huge lead over the 88.
That is huge, man.
That is big. That could be the move of the race right there, with McCarthy having the best pit stop and best pit road entry. Because now they're not close enough to catch her draft. She's pretty much in clean air and she's free to set sail. So presuming nobody else beats her out on some sort of crazy strategy, she's looking good right now.
I mean, remember what I said last time. Last time she was here, she had a bad break and lost the draft. This time it looks like it's the complete opposite. She had a good pit stop and now she's making it work. But here's the ironic part. Sludge in the number 20 is currently leading. So my question is, did he not pit to try to save a little more time and fuel and get a run on these guys, because if that's the case, that is smart strategy. However, I would be very cautious of that, because the thing is that McCarthy is in second place, and one bad pit stop and one bad adjustment can really cost you for that long run. So if I was Sludge right now, all I would be thinking about is just take the minimum amount of gas and do strictly 2 tires on my truck, as he is currently your leader right now with only about 7 laps remaining in this one. Absolutely a bar burner here tonight, to say the least, though.
Absolutely, and if I was Sludge, I'd probably come in this lap just because he's got, look at this, he's got 2 lap cars ahead of him, or 2 slower cars, and you might be better just to dip down and get tires and put yourself in clean air rather than riding around behind some guys that might not quite be up to pace. But he's going to stay out again. I think he might be trying to make it to the end.
He might be indeed, but look at this. The battle right now looks like number 16 of Sparkalicious. I'm not sure where he is at in position right now. We are unfortunately not able to figure that. We're not able to see that at the moment. But right now, he's got a bit of a battle here with the number 20 of Sludge coming down the back straightaway here. Might be trying to get ahead of him. It might be. I think he's a lap down though.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. We don't have the timing and scoring, but he definitely doesn't seem to be giving it up easy. So I think it might be for position. If he was a lap down, I don't think he'd be battling quite so hard for it.
No, not indeed. It looks like Sludge has indeed pitted. So right now, if I am McCarthy, all I am thinking is just put the pedal, and oh my lord, put it to the metal, and turn open my racing Bible to Acceleronicals versus 7. I will not stop until I have won this race.
You did not just say Acceleronicals.
Acceleronicals.
Oh, man. Well, here comes the 20 into his pit stall, coming in for a routine 2-tire stop. Is he going to beat McCarthy out of the pit cycle here? Let's see.
Here comes McCarthy. She's coming down the front straightaway here. It looks like it's going to be hers for the taking. And I'm not sure where Sludge is at right now. He's coming out of the pits. McCarthy has taken the lead here at Michigan. And what a race this would be for her. She won at Eldora last season. She has been looking for another victory. And what a win this would be to finally get it at Michigan. A track that she loved so much last season, but she just could not get that little extra rub and get that draft to make it a player's race. Man, she is looking good right now with only 4 laps remaining of this one.
Absolutely, just eyeballing it. It looks like she has about a 4 to 5 second lead. So at this point, just focus on hitting your marks. I mean, that's all you really can do. Set sail, try to make it to the end clean, pray that a caution doesn't come out. And yeah, that pit strategy definitely worked out in her favor. She got a great entry. That was just absolutely impressive. She is dominating right now.
Number 7, a Law Dog Rich, is now currently in second place. So Sludge and the number 20 going to battle for third here. If I was Sludge right now, I wouldn't be taking too many chances. I would just try to save my truck and just leave things alone for next race, because in all honesty, you don't want to make too many mistakes here and all of a sudden get yourself wrecked out just because you wanted a higher position. Get into that top 4 each and every time out, and that's all you need to do to get into the final race at Kentucky for this truck series.
Absolutely. The difference between 3rd and 4th is nowhere near as big as the difference between 4th and 12th. So sometimes it is better to settle in, like you said there. And I think, if he can get that position and he can do it safely, he's definitely going to do it. I'm not saying he's not a competitor. He's going to compete for it. But, sometimes with these points, you have it in the back of your mind and you think, hey, I'm happy with where I'm at. So, but McCarthy is looking to punch her ticket into the final 4. And she's going to do it in dominating fashion for as long as we don't get a caution. I'm knocking on wood. No commentators curse here.
But, about to say, you better not be trying to start that final lap here for McCarthy coming down the front straightaway here. She's going to have to make just 4 more turns, and she is going to take home a victory. Only her 2nd victory of the series and of PTM Racing. And I gotta be honest with you, if I had to give the most improved player award last season, I damn sure would give it to her, man. She was a fighter and a half. As the thing on her back of her truck says, don't mess with Texas.
Absolutely. Coming into 3 and 4 for the final time. She is just 2 turns away from her ticket to the final 4. And she's going to go ahead and just flirt with that white line a little bit. Not sure I'd be doing that on the last turn, but hey. She managed it, and she's going to cross the line and claim win number 2 of her career in the Truck Series and make it into the final 4. with a phenomenal run.
I would say she made it in the final four. She's now punched her ticket into the top four so far, but she's still got 3 more races to make sure she maintains position. But this is definitely a crucial part to the series and definitely a crucial victory for her. I can't wait to get in the booth with her and talk about how this one went for Miss Texas over here. Man, she was flying tonight.
Absolutely a great run, and just a good run by most of these drivers. I mean, just great battles all the way around. 3 and 4 wide racing with minimal cautions, minimal contact. It was a great race.
Absolutely, indeed, man. And as I said before, she turns that verse Bible of Acceleronicals, verse versus 7. She found it, and she put the pedal to the metal here tonight. What an incredible race for her tonight. Gonna get a close look at our top 10 here. It looks like McCarthy, Law Dog Rich, Sludge, Hubby, Sparkalicious, Jared, Hoffy, Pottles, T Jangle, and Are You My Dad? So T Jangles, actually surprise, she managed to get he managed to get into the top 10 this race. Great showing of him tonight, and great showing of everybody here tonight, especially Sparkalicious and Hoffy in there. They definitely were in the back and then worked their way up to the front. Pauls was working in there as well for quite a while, but unfortunately did not quite end up with the victory there. So tough break for them there, but that's all right. It was still an incredible race as we get a look at our top drivers here tonight. Sparkalicious, look at that time. Holy smokes.
39.930 with a dominating lap. I mean, real close. Everybody just real close in time. But man, that was a good lap, and I knew he had speed. Unfortunately, just not able to grab that win, but he's a force, man. I'd be afraid of him in the coming races.
The difference of 0.008 of a second. That's how much of a difference that was right there. And man, oh man, I can't believe how quick that was. Now, folks, we did say last season we did something a little special for you at the end of the season. We do a little burnout at the end. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna do another little burnout for our fans out there and everybody that tuned in tonight. But I'm definitely curious to see how Miss Texas over here can throw us a burnout or two. I want to see how they do it down in Texas. As we wait for the queue here, we're also need our drivers in with us here tonight. So the top 3, as I said before, Sludge, Law Dog Rich, and McCarthy will be in the booth here to talk about the post-race interview here. I can't wait to hear how this goes.
Absolutely, and I think McCarthy is going to be absolutely stoked about that run. And, I mean, she absolutely should be. Just did everything by the book, brought home the checkered flag. You can't do it any better than that.
Oh, no, man, you really can. That's definitely a good showing from her and everybody that raced tonight here. That was quite the race, to say the least. All right, guys. Well, she put in a victory lane here tonight. The one, don't mess with Texas, McCarthy. Congratulations on a victory here tonight at Michigan. You got to be thrilled. This is your second victory of your career in PTM, and what a way to do it on a track that you seem to like a lot, and you really pushed it on tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to keep the momentum going from last year. Definitely wanted this track back from last season as well, some redemption. Made a pit strategy there with about a little ways to go and took 2 and some fuel and just knew that I had to hit my marks and, set sail.
You set sail indeed. You had quite a few battles there early on. I believe it was in the second stage. You Pottles, Law Dog Rich, and all of them, and Sparkalicious got into a serious wreck on the final stages of stage 2, and it looked like you had a lot of problems there, but it looked like it didn't affect you too much as you managed to get the problems fixed out. It looks like your team did a great job getting that truck back on the pit, got to the pits, and in for a win tonight.
Yeah, I made a mistake there to start the race and got the apron off of 2 and spun myself out and collected a couple of the drivers. Team did a great job of getting the truck back together. Probably not the best aerodynamically wise, but it works. Strategy call, we'll take it. Something like that, you lose something like that, and I'll definitely take a win like that.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the one from Texas, McCarthy, congratulations on a victory here tonight. Definitely a starting point to get into this top 4, as there's only 3 races left before that championship race. Definitely going to be something to see down the road.
Yeah, definitely big night. And let's keep the momentum going. I got two or three good tracks in this series, so hopefully we can stack a couple more this season.
Absolutely, indeed. Thanks for joining us tonight, McCarthy.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
All right, guys. Finishing second place here tonight is the number 7 of Law Dog Rich. Rich, man, I have not seen you in quite a while. It's good to see you back from hiatus and good to see you back on the track with us here tonight. You had a great battle all the way from the beginning to the end. You didn't seem to have too many troubles except for that one part, as I said earlier, with when you got a little bit loose with Hubby there coming out of turn 2. What was going through your mind after that and then getting into that final stage? Absolutely, indeed. But it looks like tonight you definitely had a good balance of a showcase of a truck that you really wanted to put into victory lane. Just came up a little short here tonight, but I'll say this: the way it looked like McCarthy and Sludge were and you were tonight, like that could have gone either way. But McCarthy just managed to get you a little bit here tonight. But nonetheless, Rich, congratulations on a second place finish here tonight on the podium and great racing overall tonight. Absolutely. All right. Do we have Sludge with us? I did not see if he joined us yet.
I don't think he's in here yet. He might hop in.
We'll give him another minute here, but before we do that, let's go ahead and say a very special thank you to our sponsors here tonight, Dirt Tracking for your mobile Android and iOS devices. If you're looking for the best dirt track racing game on the market, look no further than Dirt Tracking for your mobile Android and iOS devices. I know there's a few people in this league I've been racing on there, and I've been kicking their butts on the dirt, man. I love slinging some wood on them when I can and slinging some dirt at them, and that's so much fun to do. And Dirt Tracking for your mobile Android and iOS devices, look into it. Definitely a great game to play, as well as Dirt Tracking 2 for the late model series. A lot of fun. Be sure to check both those games out on your mobile Android and iOS devices. As well as also a very special thank you to our good friends over at Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Thanks again for joining us this season and allowing us to be sponsored by you guys. We appreciate the support. If you're looking for a good hot rod to take on the road and you live in the Pennsylvania area, look no further than Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep out of Coatesville. All right, well, he put it in third place here tonight in the podium finish. Sludge, congratulations tonight. And I was running with you a couple nights ago, and even, man, I could tell you were fast, but, man, you had a hard time catching up to McCarthy and Law Dog Ridge after that pit stop. What was going through your mind when you made that pit and you just couldn't quite catch him?
Oh, after that bundle of cars that went to the pits, I was debating on saving tires. But I think if I just took gas only, I might have had a shot, but I decided to take 2, and just pretty much settled for third. I couldn't really draft second because he was weaving back and forth trying to break the draft. So, but third, I can handle third. It's no biggie.
Now, biggie indeed.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, literally no biggie indeed, considering there are only 3 of the races left before the season championship. And, you know, every race matters and every point matters in this case. But at least now you know you're in the top 3 already leading into the big one in Kentucky. So this is definitely a good starting point, would you say?
I have to agree, yes. But anybody has a shot after Kentucky, depending on what goes down. I know it's going to be a different strategy, that's for sure.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, the road in Kentucky definitely started here tonight, and you managed to put it in third place. So congratulations, Sludge, on a great race here tonight. We can't wait to see it next week out.
Don't worry, I'll be there. Yep.
All right, awesome, man. Well, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up here tonight here at Michigan. Thank you again to our sponsors, our friends, family out there. Thank you for supporting the channel. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see here. And also be sure to go and check out all our other videos on the Cup Series and Xfinity. Tomorrow night, we are live at Talladega for the Custom Cup Professionals Cup Series. Those guys will be throwing down some haymakers and quite a few drafting, I would say, at Talladega for an historic great race, as they will only have 4 races to get into their season championship in just a couple of weeks. So, for Dirt, what a way to go out tonight. Good race. I'd say this is probably one of the best ways to go out. Would you say?
Absolutely, and man, what a start to the season. I mean, if that's an indicator of things to come, I'm excited.
Oh, I've been excited since day one, man, but we got to call it a night here. So thank you again to everybody that tuned in out there. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe us on YouTube. Be sure to follow us at Twitter at Pedal to the Metal Racing, at League PTM Racing. And also follow us on Facebook at Pedal to the Metal Racing. And be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8 Eastern here on the channel for the Custom Cup Series. I'm Crusader. Have a good night, everybody.